Hello, everyone. I'm Lenny Martin, and I am with Joe Joselevich, and we are JLR, the one-stop shop for fantasy and sports betting. In today's podcast, we will give a recap of last night's fantasy team from our special guest, Carlo Thomas. We'll go over the parlay from last night, and Joe will also have a parlay for tonight's college and NBA games, plus a fantasy lineup. Joe, how is everything going?
Well, it could be better. I just got my COVID test back, which was negative, so I'm very happy about that. We're still dealing with some flu-like symptoms, though, so a little bit under the weather, but hopefully this is the best 15 minutes out of the day, so let's get it done.
All right, let's get it started. So the recap of last night's fantasy team that Carlo put in, they only finished with 219 total points. A lot of his value plays didn't come in. They were definitely open for a lot more fantasy from them. They didn't show up. They didn't pick up the workload from the guys missing. And then a few guys that were, kind of pricey didn't show up as well. So putting that mix together doesn't really add a good output. And, he didn't finish in the money, but, we really appreciate the time he came in and gave us his analysis. And also last night, we talked about the 3-game parlay. To go over that, we had Delon Wright over 19 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. He reached that mark. I thought he was a good play there at 19 and a half. It was kind of low. And I think he believed he had about 23, 24 fantasy points. So he got the mark by a few points there. DeAndre Ayton, on the other hand, did not show up. And he was supposed to go over 30 to 1.5. We took the over there. He really struggled last night. We were definitely hoping that he would come up with a bigger, solid game. Like I said, double-figure points, double-figure rebounds, and a few assists. He didn't show up, so he didn't hit the mark. And then Jokic from the Nuggets, he was getting there. I think he ended up with about 34, 35. The problem there was about 4 minutes left in the game, and the game was out of hand, so they took all the starters out. So he wasn't eligible to get the chance to get those points. But, he's definitely a good play a couple days down the road, so we'll keep an eye on him. Joe, you want to go over the parlay that you have for tonight?
Absolutely. First thing off, I want to thank Carlo for coming on and being the guest host, stepping in yesterday. I thought he did really well on the show. We're looking at a 4-game parlay tonight. We're going to split it between the NBA and college basketball. I promised you guys college content. I said it was coming this weekend. But we're going to jump the gun and we're going to play some college tonight, so I'm excited about that. The first game we're going to look at is in the NBA, and we're going to look at the Warriors-Suns game. Both teams coming off a back-to-back. The Warriors beat the Timberwolves last night, 123-111, and Steph Curry only had 16 points in that game, which is a good thing. Why is it good? Because we're getting contributions now from other players there. Kelly Oubre, Wiggins, Wiseman. Once Clay comes back, this team's going to be good, I think. And Draymond Green might be the biggest benefactor of Klay Thompson coming back, because Draymond is not a superstar. However, Draymond is a hell of a role player. So once he's asked to do less, I think he'll do more. What do you think, Len?
Yeah, I totally agree. He's an energy guy. He brings it defensively, offensive end. He's not a guy that is like a me guy. He wants to make the players around him better. And you hit it dead on. As soon as Clay comes back, hopefully from injury next season, and a couple other guys, they fill in those roles. He definitely wants to make everybody around him better. And I think he would definitely play a lot better than he has been with more guys out on the court that could do a lot more.
He's also good for a technical foul or two a game.
Yes.
All right. So the Thunder last night ended up knocking off the Suns. So the Suns lost last night. It was 102-97 final score. Tonight, both teams coming off a back-to-back. I like the way the Warriors are playing right now. The pieces are finally starting to come together. I think they're the better team right now. The Suns are really going the other direction. They dropped their last 5 out of 6 games. And Chris Paul coming off 35 minutes last night. How fresh is his legs? And Booker might come back tonight, but still, that's not going to get me away from plus money. The Warriors are +2 right now. So we're going to take them straight up. I love this matchup. Steph Curry, I don't think he's going to drop more than 16 points tonight. I look for him to drop a lot of points. I look for a Warriors win. So we're going to start there. The second game that we're going to look at, and we're going to stay in the NBA, is the Portland Trailblazers and the Houston Rockets. Damian Lillard. And it's going to be the Dame show until Nurkic comes back, until McCollum comes back. They don't have anybody, basically. It's the Dame show. 32.5 points tonight is the mark. He hit that mark the last 3 out of 4 times out convincingly. There's nothing that's going to deter me from playing that tonight. As if Portland's going to win games, Lillard has to score points. It's that simple. That formula. That's the formula. There is no other formula. That's the formula for them to win right now. Lillard's going to have to score, and I'm going to ride that 32.5 points right to the bank, hopefully, because I think that's going to be a paced up game. You're going to have points to be had, and he'll get his tonight. We're going to shift gears, and we're going to head to college basketball. I'm very excited about this, actually. So we're going to start with Arizona hosting Stanford. Arizona comes in. They're 12-3. They're averaging 82 points a game. They're a solid team. They're going to be a tournament team. And they're going up against the Stanford Cardinal team, who is 9-5 on the season with a very suspect defense. Now, I just told you the team scoring 82 points a game. They're on their home floor, and they're going up against a suspect defense. That's not a good recipe for Stanford to stay in this game. I think it's going to be a track meet. I think Arizona is going to blow them out and try to run them out of the gym. And the spread right now, I believe, is 8 points. It started at 8.5. It dropped to 8. I wouldn't mind playing the spread, but we're going to play it safe. We'll take Arizona straight up. The last game we're going to look at here is one of my favorite teams, actually, and year in and year out consistently. Belmont is going to Austin Peay tonight. And Belmont is heading into the game with a 16-1 record against the spread, 12-3-1. Now think about that, against the spread. I can't think of another team right now that is 12-3-1 or has anything close to those numbers and covering spreads. On the other half of that, you have Austin Peay, who is 1-6 in their last 7 home games against the spread. The spread is only 5.5 points as of right now. But Belmont is a complete team. They're a tournament team every year. They get in that 15 and 16 slot. I mean, they are Cinderella. They are what the tournament is all about. You got a mid-major team, and they can compete with the big boys. They can compete with the big boys. I expect them to come out tonight. The 5.5 is enticing. I'm going to go with a straight-up pick. They're an unselfish team, and that's something that is – it shows. It's 17.5 assists, 17.5 assists a game. So they're looking for the best shot. They're not coming down chucking. They're passing the ball, and they're looking for a good shot, and they're scoring 82 points a game. So they're scoring – they're getting buckets, but they're getting quality buckets because they're getting looks, good looks. So I'm looking for Belmont to improve to 17-1. And again, when you play as a mid-major, you have to win. We have to win these games because if you don't win, I mean, you're not going to make the tournament. So what are your thoughts on that, Owen?
Yeah, definitely. What you were talking about with Belmont, yep, they're always a Cinderella story. Every year you look at the bracket and they have a tough matchup. You're usually like a 12-13. They're playing the 5 seed, and somehow the spread is always close. So they're always a team year in and year out that can make a noise in the tournament and beat a couple solid programs. And why change this year? So, but you were right. They can't lose games like this. You could finish easily on the bubble, and you could be one of the first 4 out. So tonight's a game they should win, and these are the games you have to win to make it to the next level.
Absolutely agreed. I'm going to throw it back to you.
Do you want to share your screen with everybody, and we can show tonight's fantasy lineup that we have for NBA?
Sure.
We give a nice breakdown. I believe we're going to play in 50-50, so you don't have to come in first, but you can come in the top 50%, and you double your money. So that's what we're trying to do every day, just try to double our money and move on to the next day.
Absolutely, 100%. Okay, so we're gonna go. There's our lineup right here. You want to start, Len?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Curry at the point guard position. I mean, we were talking about him. He scored, 16 points last night. If you know anything about Curry, he does not have back-to-back games where he's going to do that. I mean, if having 30 plus points tonight, I wouldn't be shocked. And I think that they're going to get the win, so he's going to play big. I can see him having a big night tonight.
Absolutely, and that's going to be the difference. That's the parlay pick. I think that he's the difference tonight. 16, he's going to eclipse that number, and he's going to lead the Warriors to their 11th win of the season. So I like that pick a lot, and that's where we're going to start. We're going to go down to shooting guard with DeLon Wright. And Len, do you want to break this down?
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing pretty solid. He's finally coming in as like, okay, you're the starter, you're the guy to lead us. They're having a big matchup tonight against the Lakers, so he's going to have to step up big time. And I mean, hopefully, with Rose being a little bit older now, he's kind of given the role to Dellin, so he needs to step up. His last couple of games, he's been averaging about 30, but if you look, he has a potential to go off for like that 45, 50. So we're looking for him to have a big night tonight.
Absolutely. And the matchup is the greatest. However, with this, he's been a bright spot. He's been a bright spot on a bad team. I'm looking for this matchup for him tonight. Again, not the greatest, but again, we're gonna ride with it. We need value to plug some of these players in. So hopefully, we're gonna gamble. That's what the name of the game. We're gonna gamble, roll the dice, and we'll see what happens there. I'm gonna head on to small forward with Rodney Hood. Want to break that down, Len?
Yeah, well, it's good he's probable tonight. You know what I mean? I believe his last two games, he's averaging about that 25-minute range, 26-minute range. And, you know what I mean, for 4,300 with McCollum out, I think he could play about that amount of time. And we're hoping that he could give you about a 25 points. You know what I mean? You got to put him some value somewhere. And, you know what I mean? He's a pretty good guy. He scores about 21, 7 points. So if he could score about 15, grab a couple boards and assist, maybe a block or two, and we're going to ride with him because he's a cheap value bet.
Target for Rodney is 20 to 25. If he could get that, he gets more than his value. And again, you need secondary scoring. I mean, I know Dame's Dame, but you're going to need people to score as well. You're going to need your Hoods and Canners and Carmelo Anthony's to step up if they're going to be competitive. Again, for 43, I like it. We save salary. You got a guy that's probably going to start. I mean, Covington's not playing tonight, so he's going to have to pick up minutes, and I like Rodney Hood, definitely. We'll go down to power forward, and we're going to stay in this game with Carmelo Anthony, and basically for this almost the same reasons we just mentioned Rodney Hood, but I want to break it down, and we'll throw it over to LM. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, with Covington out, you need these guys to step in. And what I like about Carmelo, he's a veteran, you know what I mean? So he feels comfortable going to starting lineup. He could feel comfortable coming off the bench. It doesn't matter for him now. He's going to go in there and he's going to shoot a shot. He misses 10 in a row. He's putting up another 10. You know what I mean? That's what kind of guy he is. And, I think he'll get some points tonight. If he could get around that 30 range for 5,600, we could work with that.
Absolutely pays the salary off at that point, 100%. And they're going to need that secondary scoring. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, Kenner's a good defensive. He can get your rebounds, defensive player. But again, the offensive production is going to have to be someone's going to have to step up on that team. So it's interesting to see. But yeah, we like Carmelo tonight. So we're going to go down to our center position. We're going to go ride Mason Plumlee at 4,800. What do you think, Ellen?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the last two games, he's averaging a little bit more minutes. So if he's getting the minutes tonight, he's good for a possible double-double. And what I like about him recently, he passes the ball out of the post pretty well, so he could give you a couple assists. For 4,800, I really like Plumlee. I think he could have a solid game. A double-double potentially will, get us around that 30 range, and he's definitely a good value play.
Do you think that game's a close, or do you think the Lakers come off pissed off because they lost last night?
Yeah, I mean, it could be two different ways. They're pissed off and they're going to romp them, or they're a little tired because they're playing on 7 games straight on the road. So I don't care who you are, LeBron. He's an old man at this point. He can still ball, but eventually your legs are going to give out from under you, and back-to-back games on the road, not easy.
Yeah, both of those are questionable. Anthony Davis is questionable. I expect them both to play because I feel like they're questionable tags on there on a daily basis. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Laker team comes out tonight, especially playing last night and being on the road. We're gonna go down to the guard position now, and we're gonna go with a guy who could drop a lot of buckets tonight. It's either gonna be feast or famine. There's no in between. I don't think so. Reggie Jackson at 7,000. He's priced up. He's priced up. That's because they don't have anybody. I mean, they got Lou Will, and he hasn't been impressive this year. He's getting up there in age, though. He's definitely getting up there in age. Reggie Jackson is our play. Len, do you want to break this down?
Yeah, I think he's just a must play on the fact that Paul George is out. They have everybody out. You know what I mean? So somebody's going to have to fill in and play these minutes. And as you can see, they don't have many point guards on the team. Beverly's out, so he's going to have to run point guard. And Lou Williams is not really a point guard. He's more of a shooting guard. So he's going to play a lot of minutes tonight. And hopefully with those minutes come along with points, rebounds, and assists. I believe he had 27 and 7, something like that last game. He could fill the stat sheet. I know he's kind of priced up at 7,000, but I think he's a must play.
Oh, absolutely. Because again, they don't have anybody who's going to start, who's going to put the ball in the bucket. Reggie Jackson definitely one of the better options, if not the best option for the Clippers tonight, hands down. We're going to go now with another value play, Andre Iguodala, 3,900. Not a bad price, and he's facing the Clippers, who are just decapitated with either COVID-19 or injuries, or guys sitting out. Len, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Heat are facing the same problem. They have a lot of guys out. Everybody's questioning, is Hero going to play tonight? Is Butler playing tonight? We just don't know. And, I think Iguodala could come in here, even if he gives us about 20, 25 points for 3,900. At this rate, our utility, we're able to afford somebody better. So we're hoping Iggy could play a little bit solid minutes tonight, give us about 25 points. And then if you go back to utility, look who we could afford by taking Iggy at 3,900.
No, absolutely. And Iguodala, a good value play, a guy that could get you 20 to 25 DraftKings points for the price, 3,900. Definitely pretty good. I feel like this game almost is like the replacements. Nobody's in on both sides. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what transpires. I'm looking for a lower scoring game, actually, with that game tonight. But again, we'll see how that plays out. Finally, down at the utility position, we have Chris Paul. I know he played 35 minutes last night, and that's going to be the question mark. But, I mean, he's straight out balling right now. There's no Devin Booker. Devin Booker might play tonight. Yeah, keep your eye on that. But, again, we like Chris Paul, and he's a competitor. He's not going to come out and play half-ass. He plays at 100%. And I definitely like him tonight against Curry. I think they're going to go at each other. They'll be back and forth. And I look for that game to be more on the high-scoring side. What do you think, Glenn?
Yeah, definitely. The game's going to be on ESPN, so I'm definitely going to watch it tonight. And I hope it's fast-paced. I hope both guards go at each other, and they both have big games. Like I said, we put Iggy in so we could afford Chris Paul for this reason. We think he's going to go off, and he's going to play his minutes, and hopefully he goes off for, a double-double with assist, or I know he's going to grab a couple boards and get some steals. So for $8,000, we're going to take a risk on him.
No, absolutely. I mean, for 8,000, you have to hit your marks. I think you can get high 30s, mid 40s tonight. That's hitting the mark. And I can't wait for this weekend. Hopefully I feel a little better this weekend because I definitely want to do that college show, the college basketball show this weekend. And we have a lot coming up, a lot to be excited about. So whether it be the Super Bowl or the NCAA tournament, conference championships, I mean, it's a great time of the year. It's a great time to make money, and it's an exciting time. And this is, especially when it comes late February and March, I feel like it's almost like Christmas before Christmas, because you're getting everything, like I said, with college. You're getting the conference championship games, you're getting the tournament, and I felt like we were around last year because we didn't have the tournament, and it just makes you feel that much better this year, and with anticipation that, there, as of right now, there is going to be a tournament. So we're looking to win money too. I mean, that's not a bad thing either.
Yeah, so if you put the parlay in or you put our fantasy lineup in, good luck to everybody. And just to give you a reminder, we are JLR, the one-stop shop for fantasy and sports betting. And you guys have a good day.